Let's continue on with Unit 2, Rhythm. Let's do some performing rhythms. There's a couple different ways you can perform rhythms with different rhythm syllables. When I was in elementary school, we used Kodai, and in high school, we used usually the number counting system. I'm going to teach you how to count using Kodai syllables. So let's start at the top. Our quarter note. Remember, our quarter note gets one beat of sound, and it's the same as our steady beat. Whenever you see a quarter note in music, you're going to say ta. All right, so if I get my metronome back, let's do 60 beats per minute, so it's pretty slow. This is how I would perform quarter notes. Ta, 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 ta. Can you do it? Good. So our quarter note is the same as our steady beat for right now. Let's go on to the next one. Next we have our half notes. And our half notes get 2 beats of sound. The rhythm syllable for half notes is going to be the same as with our quarter note. We're going to say ta, but we're going to hold out the syllable ta for 2 beats because our half note gets 2 beats of sound. So if I get my metronome back on, here's what a couple half notes would sound like. Ta, 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 ta. You try. Good, and make sure you keep holding your ta out for the full 2 beats. The next syllable or symbol we're going to have is our whole note, and our whole note gets 4 beats of sound. Just like our quarter note and half note, we're going to say ta, but with our whole note, we're going to hold ta out for 4 beats. So this is what our whole note would sound like for 4 beats. Ta. Try it with me. Ta. Good. Make sure you hold that out for 4 beats too. Our next symbol is going to be our eighth notes. And you see here I have how many eighth notes? I have 2 eighth notes. And the hint is there are 2 note heads. So there are 2 eighth notes here. And they're beamed together. We're not going to say ta for eighth notes. We're going to say ti, ti. And I said ti, ti because I have 2 eighth notes. If I just had 1 eighth note, I would say ti. But because I have 2 eighth notes, it's ti, ti. Each eighth note gets half a beat of sound. So in our metronome that's playing with our steady beat, our eighth notes are going to be, you're going to have 2 eighth notes in 1 beat. So it's going to sound like this. Ti, 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 ti. Try it with me. Ti, 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 ti. Good. Tas and titis are the most common rhythms in elementary school, especially for the younger kids. So you're going to see tas and titis a lot. And our last rhythm syllable are our 16th notes. And I have 4 16th notes. I'm counting the note heads. 1, 2, 3, 4 16th notes. When you see 16th notes in music, we're going to say tika, tika. So the first 16th note is T. Oh, it's just like the 8th note. The second 16th note, you're going to say ka. The third 16th note, you're going to say T. Oh, just like our 8th note. And the last 16th note, you're going to say ka. Each 16th note gets a quarter beat of sound. So our 16th notes, our 4 16th notes are going to be in 1 steady beat. So here are what 16th notes sound like with a metronome. Tika, 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 tika. Try it with me. Tika, 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 tika. 16th notes you're not going to see as much in elementary school, but you might in middle school. Now, what about rest? Last video we learned quarter note has a quarter rest, half note has a half rest, a whole note has a whole rest, a 16th note has a 16th rest, and an 8th note has an 8th rest. Now, whenever we have notes, those are sounds. When we have rests, they're silences. So for now, as you're learning, every time you see a rest in music, you can say, shh, I have my kids do shh. Or I like to usually get them to just be silent when they see a rest, because when they get older and they're singing in a chorus or they're playing an instrument, they're not going to play their instrument, and then whenever they see a rest, they're not going to take the mouthpiece out and say shh. They're just going to be quiet. So when we have rhythms for now, you can either do shh, you can say rest, or you can just be silent. All right, let's practice. I'm going to pause my video and figure out how to say the left side. How would we say that rhythm? Go ahead, pause my video and try to figure it out. All right, so we have 4 quarter notes. Quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. And how we say a quarter note in music when we're performing the rhythm is ta. So we're going to have 4 quarter notes. So this would sound like ta, 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 ta. Let's clap it with me. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. Good. Try to figure out the next one. Pause my video. All right. Is this the same? No, it's a little different. What do we have to start? We have 2 eighth notes. So we start with, we have ti, ti, ta, ta, ta. Let's try it with the metronome this time. Make sure we are on our steady beat. Perform it with me. Ready, go. Ti, ti, ta, ta, ta. How'd you do? Let's do a little more practice. All right, I'm going to give you a second. Pause my video. Try to figure out both of them. All right, so let's do the top one first. Say what the first one is, second one, third one, fourth one. All right, let's try it with the metronome, the steady beat. I'm not going to practice it with you. Let's just try it. 1, 2, ready, go. How'd we do? Good? Let's try the second one. 1, 2, ready, go. Ti, 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 ta. If you're having some difficulties with this, that's fine. Pause it, practice it with your metronome, with your steady beat until you feel comfortable. Let's go on to some more practice. Oh, I see some rest now. Pause this video and figure out how you will perform these rhythms. All right, let's get our metronome back on. Let's start with the one at the top. Perform it with me. 1, 2, ready, go. Ti, 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 ta. How'd you do with that one? It's a little harder to start with TTs, but it's all right. Let's try the second one. 1, 2, ready, go. Ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, rest. Good, let's go on to the next one. Oh, I see some different rhythms. Pause the video. Try to figure it out by yourself first. All right, I'm going to get our metronome back on. Let's perform the top one. Make sure you're clapping with me, too. 1, 2, and say the syllables. Go. Ta, ta, ta. Did you hold this half note for 2 beats? That was the tricky part. Let's try the second one. Clap and say with me. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Ti, 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 ta. Good. Let's do a little more. Ooh, this is a little more difficult. Pause the video, try to figure it out by yourself. All right, so we're going to start with, what are these called? 16th notes. What are we going to say for 16th notes? Tika, tika. Then what do we have? Then what do we have? Then what do we have? Good, let's try it without the metronome first. Let's just clap some 16th notes. How I recommend my students to clap 8th notes or 16th notes is with a golf clap. So instead of doing tika, tika, which is harder for them, just do a golf clap, which is a small tika, tika. All right? Just clap some 16th notes with me and say the rhythm syllables. Tika, 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 tika. All right? Let's try the whole first line. All right? 1 and 2 and ready, go. Tika, tika, ta, ta, tika, tika. Let's try it with the metronome. Clap it, say the rhythm syllables with me. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Tika, tika, ta, ta, tika, tika. How'd we do? One more time. 1 and 2, top line, go. Tika, tika, ta, ta, tika, tika. Good? It's okay. Let's try the second line. 1, 2, start with ta. Ta. Tika, 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 ta. One more time. 1 and 2, bottom line, and go. Ta. Tika, 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 ta. Try it by yourself with the metronome. 1 and 2, by yourself, and go. Good. All right, so that's some rhythm practice for you. And if you have to go back and replay them, that is totally fine. More practice is always good. Now, in music, you're going to see something called measures. And rhythm is grouped into measures to keep them organized. And a specific number of beats are going to be in a measure, and it's dependent on something called a time signature. A time signature are these numbers on the left side of music before the music starts. There are two numbers, the top number and the bottom number. The top number is how many beats there are per measure. Typically in elementary school, you're going to see 4 at the top or 3. Okay, and how I would say this time signature is 4, 4. This one would be 3, 4. This one would be 6, 8. And this one would be 2, 2. So I'm saying the top number first and then the bottom number. The bottom number tells you which note gets the steady beat. Okay, so all of those rhythms were in 4, 4. There were 4 beats in the measure, and each quarter note gets 1 beat. So the 4 at the bottom means quarter note. That means quarter note. 6, 8 means the 8th note gets the beat, the steady beat. And the time signature 2, 2 means the half note gets the steady beat. But typically you will see 4, 4 or 3, 4. You're also going to see bar lines. Bar lines are the lines that separate the measures. So I pointed out where the bar lines are. Okay, so this is one measure. This is another measure. Here's another measure. Here's another measure. Here's a measure. Here's a measure. Here's a measure. Here's a measure. Oh, at the end of a song, you're going to see 2 lines together. These are called a double bar line, and that tells you that it's the end of the song. Let's perform the top line. Pause this video and figure out how you would perform the top line only. Say it and clap it with me. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Ta, 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 ti, 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 ti. All right, you're going to do your 3-question check-in now. After your check-in, I have some review for you. We have some review games that are online. I also have this game that I play with my elementary students called Poison Rhythm, where I put a rhythm on the board, and it's like Simon Says, where they do not repeat the poison rhythm. So if you want to try to play if you want to play my Poison Rhythm game, there's some for you there. I also included some ta titi practice videos for you. Ta rest practice, ta titi rest, ta titi tika tika rest, and with half notes also. After that, you're going to do another check-in, and then after that, you're going to go on to Unit 3, Notes on the Staff. I'll see you there.